This is Future Talk.
Future Talk.
Future Talk with Omnia Al Saleh and Hani Balkis.
Good afternoon, everyone, and happy Wednesday to everyone tuning in to us right now. I hope you're all having a blessed afternoon. Excited for Thursday because we are one day away from the weekend and ready to find out all that is happening in the tech world, in the UAE and around the world, because Hani and I will be giving it all to you. Coming up on the show, we're going to be talking all about UAE hospitals and now how there is a new digital platform that can allow doctors and healthcare professionals to access patients' health information no matter what hospital you are going to. So all of your information will be on one and in one safe place.
Yes, and we've been talking about lately for the past couple of months, or even you can go to the extent of a year, on how we need the right to repair when it does come to mobile phones, computers, laptops, anything that has to do with technology. And Apple has been the target when it does come to having a right to repair. But now, Apple's independent repair program is expanding to nearly every country where Apple products are sold. So maybe one day in the UAE, you will still have warranty if you go and repair your phone.
Well, that is definitely great news and a reason to celebrate today. But in the world of apps, lots is happening as well. We're going to be talking about our well-beloved Google Maps app because I can't live without it. We've had multiple conversations on the show about the latest updates that are happening to Google Maps. But one great update is coming into it, which will allow users and drivers to basically get options to go through eco-friendly routes. But also, there's a new feature that they're launching that will help you move indoors, especially if you are in a big airport. This feature will come in handy.
I need it in malls because I get lost in a lot of malls right here in the UAE. Mashallah, they're huge. So sometimes you're like, where is the food court? Do you want food court number 1 or 4? There's like 4 of them. So we will need something like that. But we're also talking again about Apple and how they're expected to unveil a new iPhone, a Mac, and Apple Watch software update on June 7th in a virtual event. And also, ladies and gentlemen, we have a surprise story for you.
Yes.
That we will not tell you about. You have to tune in for that one.
Yes, indeed. Lots and lots is in store right here on today's show. So keep Pulse 95 locked and we'll be right back.
Daily digital news. Bits and bytes connect our world.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking all about the healthcare sector. Talking about medicine and when it does come to technology and how all UAE hospitals can now access patients' health information thanks to something called Riyati. Now, the UAE's Ministry of Health and Prevention, MOHAP, has launched the digital platform, which is called Riyati, which will allow healthcare service providers in the public and private sector access updated data related to the health of Emiratis and even residents.
Yes, indeed. Now, I'm wondering if it's Riyati or Riayati because...
It's probably Riayati.
Riayati?
Yes, probably that one.
Because in Arabic, Riayati means taking care of someone or just taking care of patients in general. Now, with this brand new digital feature, all hospitals and clinics can actually access updated health data for every single patient, including their medical history, the medications that they are on, as well as the length of stay in hospitals. So if you've had surgery, how long did you stay in a certain hospital? My favorite feature of it all has been the medications one, because a lot of patients actually suffer from, let's say, allergy towards certain medication, and if they are transported in an emergency, they don't have a chance to actually talk about this allergy. Now, the digital mechanism would actually help with the transfer of patients between public and private hospitals, as well as health clinics. So there will be a very smooth exchange of every patient's medical records and data.
Yes, indeed. Now, obviously, we're trying to look at it as an ecosystem when it does come to the healthcare center and actually, in general, healthcare in the UAE. Now, why wouldn't it be a good idea that every hospital and every service provider in the UAE has data from everyone else? Let's say, for example, I go to Hospital Hani, right?
Zahra Hospital, any hospital in Sharjah.
I'll go to hospital number 1, for example, right? And hospital number 1 is not affiliated to hospital number 2.
Yeah.
But now I have to go to hospital number 2 for various reasons. I go there, and now I have to start from all over again. Well, yes, I have this one, I did that one, I did this surgery, I did this procedure. But now you won't need it anymore thanks to the UAE, the Ministry of Health and Prevention, MOHAP, because all of that information will be in that database, that cloud, and will be considered an ecosystem.
Yes, indeed. And the best part about it, just like you mentioned, Hani, all these hospitals will be linked with one another digitally, so there are no paperwork involved within it all. It's also going to help with the performance of every healthcare facility, because now doctors can operate at a much faster pace. They have all of your records, they have all of your history, so there will be no confusion or waiting on a hospital to send your data across. Now, Riayati is also featuring updated health data for every single patient. So this form of digital platform will actually facilitate the transfer between different clinics, and it will also ensure that patients are saving costs at the same time. Since, let's say you want to go to a certain hospital, but another hospital can offer the same procedure for a lower cost, you can go ahead and find out about it. And it's also going to help reduce errors and duplication of medical records, as well as trying to make sure that every patient is getting the best care possible.
Yes, 100%. It's very important to have these things allocated in one place, especially as it's all in one country. All these hospitals, all these medical centers are in one country, so why not share the data with one another? Let us know your guys' thoughts. 4215, do it on Instagram at Pulse95 Radio. We're going to be taking a short break, but when we come back, we're talking all about Tufah, Apple, and how soon enough you'll be able to repair your own phones.
Daily digital news. Bits and bytes connect our world.
Apple has great news for everyone who owns any product from their lineup, because they are going to soon be launching an independent repair program, and they will be expanding it to nearly every country where Apple products are sold.
Yes, the program is going to be helpful to some people, but has had its invasive requirements in the past. Now, we do know that getting an Apple product repaired often does involve going directly to the expensive source, which we know is the Apple Store, a big third-party firm like we have right here in the UAE, which is called iStyle.
Yes.
Now, if you do live somewhere with limited choices, Apple has recently announced an expansion of its independent repair provider program, which will actually change that. Now, the company does plan to expand its repair program to nearly every country where Apple products are sold. So that's talking about probably like the most of the world. Now, it does mean someone near you could be soon using official Apple parts to fix your cracked phone. Now, before we get into it, we do know that in Europe, mostly Europe, they're coming out with something called the right to repair. That when it does come to Apple products, unfortunately, if you go and repair outside of Apple, your warranty fails.
Yes.
You no longer have a warranty. And we do know that phones have a life of 2 to 3 years when it comes to Apple, because then they consider them outdated, which that isn't viable. I'm not going to spend every 2 years to buy a new phone.
Exactly. And a lot of the times, people opt for buying Apple Care, which can come in handy. But then what if you want to fix it somewhere where it's just a little cheaper, or your Apple Care is just not an option that you would like to consider? This is exactly why they're actually going to be launching this new program. But again, there's a lot of concerns about how the technicalities of it are going to be, and which stores would be eligible for repairing your Apple product. As of right now, the program is only available in the United States, Canada, and Europe. But according to Apple's announcement, the repair providers from countries like Australia, Japan, and Korea will soon be able to join this week. So we are actually looking at more countries being included in this program later this year, and rumor has it China will also be included pretty soon. Now, providers have to apply to participate, but once approved, people who are actually in that country can buy a limited variety of first-party materials like batteries, screens, and diagnostic tools. So while your local repair person will be able to fix the most common issues with official parts, anything that needs a little bit more time or more pieces, you would have to go to the Apple Store, an official one with an authorized service provider, to be able to support your phone.
Yes. Now, for example, let's go to Sharjah. Let's go to Spinneys Roundabout, or in Arabic, Dawar Spinnis. Right? This is a very well-known roundabout where a lot of mobile shops are there to sell, buy, and even repair phones and even computers.
Yeah.
So we're looking at down the line, one day you might go to Dawar Spinnis or Spinneys Roundabout and get your phone fixed using original Apple parts, and Apple will not say you're out of warranty anymore. which is very good because, again, we need the right to repair. This is a phone that I bought. I own this phone. If it gets broken, I need to repair it and not pay that premium Apple price. Now, for example, a screen on an iPhone 12, for example, will probably go for 1,700 dirhams. Okay?
At least, I feel like.
At least 1,700 dirhams if you go to the Apple Store. If you go outside of the Apple Store, for example, Spinney's Roundabout, you will probably pay 1,000.
Yeah.
So that's saving 700 dirhams. Why? Because obviously you're going to that premium seller, which is Apple. So it is cheaper and better, and the right to repair.
Exactly. Let us know your thoughts. So what do you think of this new decision that Apple is allowing all of its users to basically have the right to repair in stores outside of Apple's official service providers? Our text lines are open, 4215 do it a lot, or slide into RDMs at Pulse 95 Radio. Coming up, we're talking about our beloved Google Maps app and how it is launching brand new features for all of its users.
Pulse 95.
Apps all around.
What's worth a click and download?
Pulse 95.
Welcome back to Future Talk, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking about Google Maps. Now, they will start directing drivers to an eco-friendly route. What does that mean? Well, we're going to be telling you that in just a bit. Now, unless users do opt out, the default route will be the eco-friendly one. So you will have two options. You go the eco-friendly one, or you go the ruining the environment one.
So what we mean by eco-friendly, basically it will pick a route where your car will produce the lowest carbon emissions possible. And this is not just based on what type of car you have, it's also based on traffic, slopes, and other factors that Google is taking into account. This feature was actually planned to launch later this year in the US, but best news about this is it's also going to be coming to other countries because Google is trying to create different efforts to help fight climate change through its application. Now, unless as a user you choose not to follow the eco-friendly route, every route that you're going to be getting will be eco-friendly, and especially if you compare it to other options, that eco-friendly route will basically take the same amount of time that you would take to arrive to your destination with a less eco-friendly one.
Yeah, when you were talking about fighting, Omnia, you know what the first thing came in mind?
Fighting?
Yeah, you said to fight.
Yes,
to
fight climate change.
Yeah, to fight climate change. The first
Yes.
thing I thought you were going to say was fight COVID-19. Because we're all so used to being in the battle of COVID-19.
Just like ready to fight all the time this
So I
pandemic.
was like, man, Google Maps and COVID-19, my brain went a little bit cuckoo, but it's okay. Now, Google does say it does derive emissions relative estimates by testing across different types of vehicles and road types. Now, they are drawing on insights from the U.S. government's National Renewable Energy Lab. And road grade data does come from its Street View cars, as well as an aerial and satellite imagery. Now, the potential effect on emissions from the feature is still unclear, but in a study of 20 people at a California State University in Long Beach, university researchers did say last year they found participants were more inclined to consider carbon emissions in route selection after testing an app that showed the estimates. So they're saying that if people are informed about how much carbon emissions they're producing, they might want to opt for less.
Yes, indeed. And in the coming months, the Map app is actually going to hopefully be able to compare the difference between you going to your destination in a bike versus going in a car versus public transit and other travel options that people would get instead of going ahead and having to click on different sections to be able to find out how it will be better for the environment. But another feature that Google Maps is actually launching is the ability to guide you through indoor spaces like airports, which is great news because
Everyone come to section B. What terminals?
Well,
Everyone
the
come to
pilot forgot.
terminals. Yeah, terminal A, B, C, D. Future
Terminal
Talk.
1, 2, 3.
Future Talk 95. You can find us there.
Well, you got pilot Hani.
I miss airports, man.
You should miss it. 'Cause
You can't miss it.
Yeah, I can't
you
miss
left
it.
a couple months ago. How was December?
Yeah, December.
Yeah.
Before the new year.
Dong. Last call for Air Arabia. Departing from Sharjah International Airport. Last call. Ding dong.
Let me tell you, the best feeling is when you're in an airport.
Best feeling is when you're in the hallway of happiness.
Oh, yes.
Mamarra Saada.
Tell me about it. But definitely not. I wish it's just traveling without masks. I miss that time of life.
I don't mind, man. Put me on an aeroplane. Let's go. I'm ready. But obviously, if you do have the chance to travel, you might get lost in the airport, and you don't want to be lost in the airport because airport is very time efficient. You got to be
Yes.
there at the certain time, certain place, now.
And it's hard. It's hard not to get lost, especially if, let's say, you're looking for McDonald's, which I know you would be.
Cinnabon. I want a Cinnabon.
Cinnabon?
Yeah.
Well, Honey would be looking
Honey,
for
come. Stop looking for Cinnabon.
You'd just be like moving around looking for Cinnabon, and your flight is about to departure.
You know, Omnia, I want to be a pilot. Like
Really?
an actual pilot.
And not
Yes.
just to make the
No.
announcements.
Because Omnia, you know how cool it is when you're walking and you got the pilot uniform on, and
Yes.
everyone's looking at you like you're about to save Mother Earth.
Yes.
And they're like, oh my God,
Waiting.
Tayyar. Yes. Oh my God, he's an air.
Especially if you're at the gate, everyone would be waiting for you and all of the flight attendants with you.
And the cool thing is that when you're walking through, I don't know why you have an entourage of flight attendants, right? Like the pilot is always in the front,
And then-
he has his luggage, and everyone's just like walking behind him, you know? It's so cool. Man, should have changed careers, but it's okay, man. I just realized 10 years later.
Well, you can't necessarily be a pilot, but you can definitely use Google Maps and get that
Pilot
feeling.
my way through the airport.
Yes, you can have that wordplay if you want. But Google Maps is actually launching one of the coolest features as of today. And the best part about it is that they're implementing this by using augmented reality. So you'll be able to navigate through airports, malls, even train stations by the Live View AR feature. So you'll get an overlay of a digital guide on top of the real world so that you can know exactly which directions you should follow. So let's say you're in an airport, you want to go ahead and find Cinnabon. So you'll search for Cinnabon, and you'll have a digital overlay
Yes.
popping up in front of you with the Google Maps markers that will guide you with the arrows and digital indicators through it all. And it's kind of like having a set of AR glasses on, but it's just with the app itself. There are arrows that will tell you exactly where to go, which way you should follow. But let us know.
Yeah.
Would you be excited for a feature like this?
And we have better news too, because sometimes we all can't go to the airport. We all don't have the privilege to fly like me.
Yes.
But, ladies and gentlemen, we also have this feature being rolled out in malls. Now, so far, there's a select number of states that in America, Chicago, Long Island, New York, even Los Angeles, have this feature where in some malls in the United States, you'll have the feature to be guided by Google Maps. Now, I do believe I'm going to have an estimation.
Yeah.
We're looking at a month or two
Yeah.
where we will have Google Maps in malls right here in the UAE because we have so many big malls in the UAE. I mean, how often do you get lost in a mall? I've been to a mall, right? I'm not going to say the name of it. I've been in the mall. I'm going to let you guys guess the mall, right?
Okay.
I'm going to see if I'm the only one who gets lost.
Yeah.
I've been to this mall for a couple of times. We're going to play a little bit of a trivia, right?
Okay.
The mall opened, I believe, 2007.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
It's
I think
one,
I know.
It's one of the biggest malls in the world.
I think I know.
Okay?
Yeah.
I've been there over 100 times.
Yes.
And I
you
lose my
still
car
get-
every time. And I get lost every time.
Yes, I know which mall, and I can definitely agree with
And I
you.
see only at that mall. So if you guys know. All right, we're going to give you another hint. Lugma.
Oh, yes.
There's a restaurant called...
Lugma over there. It's one of the best, let me tell you. But it's definitely confusing,
Yes.
especially with the parking lots in malls. You can park your car and completely forget where you parked it. But Google Maps actually already has a feature where it will remind you where your car is parked.
Well,
Doesn't
we did
always-
ask that question. There was a little bit of trivia. Text in at 4215.slot or on Instagram at
Which
plus
mall
95
was
video.
Hani at?
Which mall do I get lost in every time? And ding dong. This is your pilot speaking. We're going to take in a short break, but when we come back, we got a lot in store for you guys.
Check this out. Check this out.
We have one Apple fanboy on Future Talk, and I'm sure he is excited for this news because Apple is soon going to be, or there are rumors that they will soon be unveiling a new iPhone, Mac, and Watch software in June 7.
Yes.
On June 7.
Yes. Now, Apple has announced just this Tuesday that its annual developers conference will begin June 7th, just like last year, but it'll be online only due to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. Now, the event does run through June 11 and is free for only developers to attend. Now, we do know that Apple does typically unveil its new iPhone, iPad, Apple Watch, Apple TV, and even Mac software on the first day of the event. Now, it is sometimes also used the event to introduce new hardware products too, especially those that will take advantage of the new software features Example, the M1 chip.
Yes, indeed. And we are definitely excited to have Apple
So
launch
excited. So
a brand new
You
software.
guys should really tune in on YouTube. It's so much funner if you tune on the YouTube.
You're missing out if you're not. Our YouTube is Pulse 95 Radio. You'll find the live stream over there. But what I like about Annie's way too excited. What I like about Apple products in general is even if you don't want to buy the new iPhone, watch, let's say Mac computer, you're still getting like a refresh, a new set of keys, a new features every single time they update their
New
software.
way to burn your money.
Exactly. You're not burning your money.
Yeah, it's
free.
not burning.
It's a free
No,
update.
I mean when you buy,
yes.
Yeah, when you buy.
Yeah. With the software, though, you're like getting a little bit of a refresh for your
Yeah.
devices and at no cost. I mean, they already take and charge an arm and a leg for the phone itself. But what's interesting about these events that have been taking place ever since COVID-19 started is that they have been completely online. So anyone around the world can tune into the live stream. And this is the first time, actually, the public will be getting a sneak peek at new features coming to their devices. Usually, they just launch these softwares and we don't get any news about it until the final launch that takes place in the fall. Now, in 2020, Apple did finally do its transition from Intel processors to its in-house chips, which are the well-known M1 chips that Annie wanted to change his laptop for. But now they're actually going to be... What?
What do you mean?
You wanted to change your
Yeah.
laptop for the M1 chip?
Yeah.
For a
You
chip?
act like I'm wrong for that.
No, not
Of
at all.
course, I would change my laptop for that M1 chip. Don't you have an M1 chip?
No.
No, you don't have an M1 chip.
It was available for pre-order. I couldn't wait.
Ain't
though.
nobody got time for that.
Exactly. And what we have seen during the last event that happened in 2020 is that they actually showcased how powerful those new chips are. And now customers have been vouching for that. They are very fast, don't drain your battery as much. And reports have recently suggested that they will be launching even more new hardware products in the upcoming event this year.
Yes, and also last year we did know that Apple did announce the iOS 14 for its iPhones, iPad OS 14, Watch OS 7, and its Big Sur Mac OS update, and a new Apple TV software. And I have a horrible time when it came with the Big Sur. Horrible.
Oh, was it
Because
the time when your laptop
When I thought
was...
my laptop was broken and I got upset and
Yeah.
I was like, I just paid like $5,000 for this and now it's not working. But it turns out that Apple lets things update in the background.
Yes.
But so far the Big Sur is okay. But I'm really excited to see what kind of updates, especially when it does come to the Mac iOS, not Mac, the iOS on the mobile. I
Yeah.
want to see, especially because I want that new update where I can set a default music player.
Ooh, that
'Cause I'm
would
not-
be nice. Yeah.
Sorry, Tim Cooks. I'm not using Apple Music anymore. I'm using Spotify.
You've done the transition.
I've done it. I've done the deed because I feel like I find new music on Spotify.
Well, I can't blame you.
You guys want to hear me sing?
Oh, no.
Waking up.
No. No. You have put this song in my head and now I can't get it out.
Man, I love TikTok.
Oh, God. TikTok it's a thief of time. That's all I'm going to say, but it's definitely a very fun platform to be on.
Waking up in the morning.
Stop
thinking about
singing.
something. It's such a catchy song. It's not even a song. It's like a parody of something.
Exactly. Like, or I don't know, like a cover or something. I don't know.
I want to ask the listeners and
Yeah.
the viewers on YouTube, what song did TikTok make you get stuck on?
I have one.
What?
What was it? Wait,
Sing
it's
it.
called
Sing it.
I forgot it was
Sing it.
astronauts in the something.
Astronauts into something. Sing it.
I have
What you
wait.
know about rolling
Yes.
down in deep. Yeah.
That's the one that
I have it on
stuck
my
in
phone.
head.
Yeah.
All the time because
Yeah.
of TikTok.
All that mental. Yeah, it's amazing. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, let us know your guys' thoughts. 4215. Do us thought on Instagram at Pulse95 Radio. What is the song that is stuck in your head because of the TikToks?
There is a good news. There's good news for you, honey.
happened?
If you want to get the iPad, they're actually launching brand new iPads in April.
I'm buying them because they're cheap. Not now. The older versions are cheap. Not because I got so much money I'm going to buy it. I think they're like $2,000 if you buy them brand new.
Yeah.
No.
Are you gonna get the one with the stylus pen?
No, man, I'm not artistic
No
that way.
artist in you?
I look at, on Instagram, I hate Instagram, by the way, just because it makes me feel like I'm talentless. But on
Well,
Instagram,
okay.
I'll see, those people
I
who,
like the widgets.
who create, thank you. Who create like artwork using a stylus on
Yes.
iPad and they start creating cool stuff.
It's so interesting. Don't have the abilities, but it's so interesting.
I tried it, right? I had a stylus before.
Yeah.
And I tried it and my hands just go like that. I don't know how to control my hand. So, I mean, art isn't that easy. I don't
And
think it's for me.
The artist
I think I should
career
just stick
is
to talking.
talking
'Cause
and
that's my strong point.
pilots. Pilot announcements.
Yeah.
Well, let us know your thoughts.
Let's know your guys' thoughts. 4215. That's the robot. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, we're taking a short break, but when we come back, the surprise story is coming in a bit.
Yes, indeed. And we're going to be leaving you with Loved by You by Justin Bieber.
Oh, I love Justin. I love the peeps.
Pulse 95.
Apps all around.
What's worth a click and download?
Would you know that Clubhouse was revolutionary, right? Clubhouse
Why
changed
are
the
you saying
game
was?
because it's still. Oh yeah, it was. It still is. It is revolutionary.
Yes.
Fortunately, we cannot use it anymore in the UAE for various reasons, but we're not getting into it. We're talking about LinkedIn. Now we do know LinkedIn is mostly for networking. It's mostly for to get into a certain business. It's a job place. It's a place where
Professional
professionals
platform.
can share thoughts and ideas. But we now know that LinkedIn is making a Clubhouse clone.
Yes, indeed. And it honestly feels like every big tech company is working on a Clubhouse-like social audio feature. It started out with Twitter. They launched a new space feature, which was replicating what Clubhouse would offer to different users. And then Facebook, actually, there's a lot of rumors that they're making one. Spotify is making one.
Instagram.
Instagram is making
I already
one.
have a room.
Ooh,
Yeah.
okay.
Have you tried it?
No, I
Oh,
haven't.
I'm gonna invite you right now. Let me see. I never tried it yet. I didn't try it yet.
Okay, let's try it out on Future Talk. But now LinkedIn is actually joining that, and they're working on an audio networking feature of their own. In my opinion, this will be revolutionary because not only did Clubhouse help connect a lot of people to others, especially if it's like professionals, it felt like having a live podcast always on
Yeah.
hand. Are you inviting me to the
Yes.
room?
I don't know if it's working or
Oh,
not.
it did work. So
Right.
with Instagram, I think it's not called Spaces. No,
called
Spaces
Rooms,
was
I think.
rooms. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Did you accept?
Rooms. Yes. Oh, okay.
Can you see me?
But it took me to Facebook.
Really? I
Join room.
You
as
left the
me.
room.
No, I'm joining.
Oh. People can see when you're in a room.
Yeah, and it
Lock
says
room.
connecting.
Yeah, I locked the room.
Oh, okay. Yes, room is locked.
Yes.
But what's interesting is it's merged on both
Yes.
Facebook and Instagram. So, and it makes sense because Instagram, Facebook, and WhatsApp, they're all owned by Mark Zuckerberg. But early tests actually show that LinkedIn is actually working on the new audio experience that will help make everyone stay connected to their professional experience. Call failed.
But yeah, call failed. No
Yeah.
problem. But let's go back to LinkedIn. Now, Clubhouse was used, for example, a lot of people used it for having fun, conversations. I enjoyed it a lot because I could talk about a lot of things that interest me, right?
Yes.
I talked about a lot of topics that were interesting to me. I gave my input and I got my input put. So I'm very excited to see what LinkedIn has to offer because, again, you will be considered a professional in the area you're going to be talking in.
Yeah.
So let's say, for example, Omni and I were into radio and radio presenting. We might be in a room where Omni and I are with various other presenters talking about presenting. We could probably
Yeah.
even have a laugh, funny moments we had on the show, for example. Or we can talk about professionally-wise and collaboration-wise and. So there's so much room for creativity. And Omnia, I personally, Hani, have connected to so many people using Clubhouse.
Over Clubhouse, yeah.
I've created so many networks because of Clubhouse.
And I see exactly where you're coming from because a lot of people have actually shared the exact same experience, being able to connect even on a professional level
Yes.
with Clubhouse. So let alone if it is a professional networking or
Yes.
social networking site that is launching such a feature.
Now, Omnia's
Yeah.
been active on LinkedIn lately.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've always been active
Yeah,
on
like
LinkedIn.
putting posts and stuff.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
So if you want to
I'm not-
catch up on future talk shows, you can actually find them on LinkedIn.
Yeah, I'm usually active on every social media platform except LinkedIn. I just feel awkward
Why do you feel awkward?
because I feel like they expect something professional all the time.
Yeah, I see where you're coming
Good morning,
from.
ladies and gentlemen. I hope you have a blessed morning. On this God-given day, I'm here talking. I just feel like, man, I just want to say good morning.
If they launch the Clubhouse feature, or like the Clubhouse clone feature, I think you'd like it because it's like being in a room with speakers.
Yeah,
and
it's like I don't talk enough already. This is amazing.
You do radio presenting for a career, honey.
I mean, it's like I talk already enough. I mean, I'm going to talk for another. It's amazing how much I love to talk. Anyways, you can talk now.
Well, LinkedIn is currently also launching the beta version of this feature, and people will actually be able to test it pretty soon. But they've also been working on a destination for different creators. So content creators, influencers can actually check out those tools in their new creator mode, and you will actually get like a label on your LinkedIn content creator, or you'll get a label on your profile that you're a LinkedIn content creator. So the Clubhouse-like feature actually seems like a very natural fit for everyone who wants to try it out as well. Let us know your thoughts. Our text lines are open, 4215 Do It Salat, or slide into our DMs at Pulse 95 Radio. Keep Pulse 95
Yeah,
locked.
you need to tell me where you get your shirt at.
We'll see you tomorrow.
If you liked this episode of Future Talk, drop a like and subscribe.
Pulse 95.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram for all our daily updates and top stories.